guys, it is Jay from Fluent in 1 year, and it's time for some ESL online, English as a second language online. Today's topic is phrasal verbs, and I know phrasal verbs can be a pain in the ass for most of us. So you know what? Before I ramble on for too long, let's get going straight into the video. Now, before we get started, what is a phrasal verb? Let us ask Google. You know, I could ramble on about it for a bit, but I think Google has what we need. It says phrasal verb is an idiomatic phrase consisting of a verb and another element, typically either an adverb, as in breakdown, or a preposition, for example, see to, or a combination of both, such as look down on. Now, it is important for us to understand phrasal verbs. And the reason is that in the English language, we tend to use phrasal verbs much more often than we use regular verbs. And according to my theory, the best way to learn phrasal verbs is by two methods. One, you study the most popular ones, the ones that are used most often, the ones that you're more likely to hear. And the truth is that even as native English speakers, it's very unlikely that we would have heard every single phrasal verb by the time we're 20. And as such, it's nothing strange if you're talking to someone, they use a phrasal verb and you say to them, hey, I don't understand, what do you mean? Or you stop them and you say, does this mean X, Y, Z? And you go on to explain what you think it means. It's nothing wrong. Because as I said, there's so many of them. But it will look weird if they use one of the more common ones and you don't know what it means. So now, there will be a link in the description with a list of the 50 most common phrasal verbs. Afterwards, you can take a look at that. But you know what I'm going to do for this exercise? I'm just going to do some exercises on phrasal verbs. Just a few questions. I'm going to explain the answers, why they're correct, why they would be incorrect. It's probably going to take a while. But you know what? That's probably the best way to learn about phrasal verbs, by doing them, because there's so many of them. After you've done them for a while, you start to get the hang of how they work, and you can narrow down their meaning, even after hearing them for the first time. So let's go with this exercise. Now, the link for this exercise is going to be in the description. That means I'm not taking any credit for the work of the website Owner English Club. They have other good stuff here that you can check out. And you know what? Let's get into phrasal verbs. It says phrasal verbs vocabulary quiz. You can do this vocabulary quiz online or print it on papers based on your phrasal verbs list. And here's a list right here. I'm not going to print it. So let's go. Would you my dog for me this weekend? Look. Would you look my dog for me this weekend? Well, it cannot be look, okay? Because look is not a phrasal verb, guys. It's just a verb. As you can see, there is no adverb or preposition attached to it, so it cannot be look. Now, let's take a look at the next option. It says, would you look after my dog for me this weekend? Now, this is the answer, and I'll tell you why. In the English language, when you say look after something, it means to care for. And essentially you're saying, you know what, let's remove this phrasal verb for the option and say care for. Would you care for my dog for me this weekend? And you know, that makes a lot more sense. Now, the reason why it's not this option, look up, is because look up in the English language, it's like saying, you know what, define, research, get the meaning of. So you can say it, but it wouldn't make sense to say to someone, would you look up the meaning of my dog for me this weekend? I mean, perhaps the dog's name has a unique meaning. I mean, why would you name him if you don't know the meaning? But that wouldn't be the answer. So our answer for number one is look after. And again, if you don't remember reason why the others are incorrect, you can go back and replay this video over and over and over until my voice annoys you. Okay, so let's go. Number two. My neighbor underscored eggs yesterday. And I will leave it to you to explain why ran, the past tense of run, a verb, cannot be the answer. Now, ran out of. Now, when we say ran out of in the English language, we're basically saying, you know what? We used to have it, we don't have it anymore. We used it all up, we exhausted our resources, so we don't have any anymore. Ran into, however, it means that you've met someone. So I ran into my brother in town. So I saw my brother in town. I met my brother in town. Now, when I say met, I don't mean met for the very first time, like you just met someone. It's someone that you're acquainted to from before. So it cannot be ran into. It's most likely ran out of, because as I said before, ran out of suggests that you had something, you used it all up, you exhausted it, and now you have no more of it left. So this is the answer we'll choose for this one. Number 3, John underscore his leg at the baseball game. Now, underscore his leg at the baseball game sounds pretty stupid, but it sounds cool to say. So I think I'll hang on to that for a bit. And I will again leave it to you to explain why broke, the past tense of the verb break, is not the answer. So now we have two possible solutions. Now, broke down. What does broke down mean? Now, the answer that we're looking for, it has to do something with affecting someone's leg. And this is very important with the explanations I'll go with. Now, broke down suggests that it's a machine. And machines are something that they're working, and when they break down, it means they started to malfunction and they're not working anymore. So that's what broke down means right here. So John broke down his leg at the baseball game. That doesn't sound too fun because John is not a machine. Well, at least the last time I know John. So let's go with broke off. What does broke off mean? We're going to assume that we don't know the meaning of broke off, okay? And we're going to select broke off simply because we know it cannot be broke. And we know broke down suggests it's a machine, and John is not a machine the last time we met John. Now, what I've done here is it's a multiple choice test, guys. And the method of elimination says that if you don't know the answer, eliminate all the wrong answers. You might know what it might be. And as such, we can eliminate 2 answers, leaving us with just 1. Now, let's go into the meaning of broke off. Now, broke off, it suggests that you had something and was attached to something, or was joined to something, or was even a pole, for example. And when it broke off, it means it has been severed. Severed means, you break all connections with something. So if he broke off his leg at the baseball game, as cringy and as gruesome as that sounds, that means he broke his leg, guys. I don't know why they would use this. It's such a graphic example, but such is the language we speak. Number 4, our boss underscore our meeting until next week. Now, I like this sentence. Now, I won't address put because that is too easy at this stage. Now, put off suggests that you cancel something. Okay? So, our boss cancel our meeting until next week. That could be the answer. Let's see the next one. Put down. Well, put down means literally what it says, guys. You have something in your hand and you put it down on the table. You put it down on the ground. I put my cell phone down on the ground. So you have something and you lay it on the table. You lay it on the ground. You rest it somewhere. Put down. So that's what put down means. To rest something on a surface or to put something on a surface. Now, I don't think a meeting is a physical entity that you can put down somewhere unless you're jotting it down on the calendar. So we're going to go with put off because you know what? It's very likely that you can cancel a meeting, correct? Especially if you're the boss. So let's go next. Now guys, if you like this video and the way I tutor, if you would like extra help right now with this topic, so you want personalized tutoring on this topic that you're learning right now, and you would like for me to help you, then you can sign up for iTalk this very moment. You can check if I am available for instant tutoring. Now, instant tutoring on my profile will appear somewhere down here. Beneath schedule a lesson, contact teacher, and book trial lesson. It will be somewhere here that says you can schedule an instant tutoring lesson right now. But if not, you can sign up for iTalki. Send me a message. So you send me a message and say, you know what, I have an exam coming up. There's something I really need you to explain for me. And I will make myself available. Or, if it's not so urgent, you can still sign up for iTalki. And after you signed up for iTalki, you can schedule a lesson with me. Now, the rates may change, because time changes, the rates may change depending on when you're watching this video. But if it's your first lesson, then all you need to do is say to me that, you know what, I found you on YouTube, this is my first lesson, I would like a discount. and I will give you a 30% discount. That's only for your first lesson with me on italki. So even if you're already on italki, if it's your first lesson with me, once it's a lesson for 1 hour or more, I will give you a 30% discount on the actual rate at that time for the lesson. Now on my profile, you will find my ratings from other students, how many students I've had, the amount of lessons, the different mediums that we can have classes on. You can find my language skills, which means the languages I'm learning, languages I speak, and how fluent I am in these languages. You can also find my teaching specialties. You can find a review of my lessons from previous students. They're all here, good, bad, and indifferent. You can find ratings for my lessons for the past month, 3 months, and all time, my attendance record. So you see, it's very detailed. There's nothing for you to lose. There's everything for you to win. So if you'd like more help, then sign up with me. Then sign up for italki and let's learn a language together. Okay, number 5. Could you the music while I'm on the phone? Now, this one is very common, guys. You know, this is something that you'll hear very often. You're in the taxi, they're playing very loud music. You're at home, your roommate is being an ass and playing very loud music while you're trying to talk to your next person, your family from abroad, whatever. This is something that you'll hear very often. The radio is too loud. Could you turn it down? No? Okay, then turn it off. So now we know that turn is not going to be the answer. That's very clear. Now turn off suggests that I light, my dear friend. Yes, so turn off suggests that you have a device that's running, and it sometimes applies to people as well, but you have a machine, a device, an electronic device that is running, and you switch it off. You set it to off, you turn off the device. Now turn off the music could also work, given that if you have the music running, you could turn it off. If you turn off someone, it might have a bit of a sexual connotation at times, and it might also mean that you offend someone, you made them very angry, you've made them lose interest in your presence. So that's what turn off means when it applies to someone. When it applies to something, it means that, you know what, you turn it off, or you know what, it's not on anymore. That's it, what it means, to turn off. Now come to think of it, we don't really use off in the English language. So could you off the TV phone, please? No, it's normally turn off. So that's what we're going to be choosing for this answer. Now let's explain the second option, the third option, sorry. Turn around. Now turn around suggests that, you know what, you're going straight, and instead of continuing straight, you turn and start to go in the opposite direction. Okay? So you're traveling from world map. Okay, so you're traveling from America to Europe, and midway in the flight there's a storm in Europe, the plane won't be able to land, and as such the pilot decided that, you know what, I'm going to turn the flight around, or he's going to turn around. What the pilot has done now is that instead of going straight to Europe, he has made a U-turn and has head back on his way to America. So that's what turn around means, and that wouldn't work with the music. So you know what, we found our answer quite easily. Number 6. I don't, oh, this is going to be a very long one. I don't mind my new science teacher. Okay. I don't get up my new science teacher. And get up literally means like you're sitting and you stand. To stand. That's what get up means. To stand. I don't get over. Now get over means you could go over something. For example, you go over a fence. You go over a hurdle while you're running a race. Or you broke up with someone and you get over them. So, you know, there are a few meanings that you could work with get over. Now, I'm going to assume that there is no prior relationship with the science teacher, given that it's the new science teacher. So get over won't work. Also, get over wouldn't be very grammatically correct here. I don't get over my new science teacher. It would have been more like I haven't gotten over my new science teacher. So even by grammar, we can eliminate this option because it can never be that. Now, get on with means that you don't associate very well with someone. They're not your best friend. They're more like your enemy. and as such you don't associate very well with them. You're not very sociable to you, and as such, you know what, that's our answer. I don't get on with my new science teacher. I must apologize for the previous noise in the background. I have a very noisy neighbor and I can't turn them off. Okay, so we both look meeting your new girlfriend. Well, it can't be look for obvious reasons. We both look up, and look up, as I said in this one, yes, I already explained look up here, and that means to research. And if you're looking up someone's girlfriend, you're probably not going to try to meet them afterwards because they would know everything that you need to know. And look forward to means exactly what it is. You're trying, it means you're interested to. So we're both interested in meeting your new girlfriend. We are both hopeful of meeting your new girlfriend, stuff like that. So look forward to right here suggests exactly what we needed to mean. We're both anticipating meeting your new girlfriend. So let's go. Look forward to. Only 2 questions left. My car broke down on the highway yesterday. Now, we've addressed the broke down before when we said John broke down his leg at the baseball game, and we explained why broke down could not be the answer. If you don't remember, then go back in the video. That is the answer. We already explained broke off as well. So broke down is the answer. We explained broke off. I know what that has to do with. Now, broke away. I must admit that I'm not very familiar with broke away. So let's go to Google and see what Google has to say. Define broke away phrasal verb. And you see, guys, I've been speaking English my entire life and I don't know what broke away means, and that's very fine. So it says broke away, well, come again. Breakaway, escape from someone's hold. Now that I think about it, I do know this one. Okay, never mind it. So lesson learned, to escape from someone's hold. And given that we are trying to break away from a highway, I don't think that highway is pinning you to its body. You're not getting raped by the highway, my friend. So let's move on. Number 9, it will be easier to read if you switch the lights. And it cannot be switched for obvious reasons. Switch on and turn on are very, I don't know if you have similes for phrasal verbs, but I'm going to say they're similes. I also am going to go out on a branch right here, and I'm going to say that, you know what? Switch on is the answer. Because in English, we don't normally say we don't normally say on the TV, because, you know, to power on, we normally say turn on. Now, switch on is very similar to turn on. In fact, they mean the exact same thing. So could you turn on the TV? Could you switch on the TV? And since TV and lights are both electronics, we're going to deduce that switch on the lights makes sense as well. Switch over, that is not the answer, guys. And the reason is very obvious. Switch over has nothing to do with lights. Also, if you were to switch over something, it would never mean to, how would I say this? To enable the lights, for example. So you know what, switch over is not the answer we're looking for. Number 10, I have to run away to the finish line. Now, run away suggests that you're trying to get away from something, and for that very subtle reason, we cannot have run away to be the answer, because you're trying to get away from something, and in the sentence, you're trying to get to the finish line. So it cannot be run away. Run out of, well, I have to run out of to the finish line. That is not the answer. Now, it's very peculiar because run is the answer. Run to. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say I think this one is a trick question, or it has an error, because you might say that, oh, whoa, you said run can't be the answer because, where is it? Number 2 it was, correct? Yes, I did say run can't be the answer because it's a verb and not a phrasal verb. And phrasal verbs need an adverb and, or, well, not and or a preposition. But if you look very closely to the right, you will see to. And what is to, my dear friends? A preposition. So I have to run to the finish line and back is the answer. I'm going to go on a branch and say this is either a trick question, as I said before, or an error, because to should have been here. So I have to run away the finish line. I have to run out of the finish line. Yeah, that makes more sense. So I think the error is that they put to right here and not on the answer. So we're going to check our answers. If and only if I get less than A plus, I will be embarrassed. And there we go. I got 90%. Let's see where I got wrong. Look after, ran out of, broke. Oh, number 3 is broke. So my answer for number 3. So why is it a phrasal verb quiz and broke is the answer? I don't know. Because you see, a phrasal verb does need an adverb or a preposition. And let's see what broke off means. Break. Oh wait. Break off. Phrasal verb. Break off. Break a piece from something. Well, you can break off someone's leg, my dear friends. I will not Google pictures of that. See, she broke off a square of chocolate and gave it to her. Yes, so you separate from. It makes sense. Break off, break a piece of something. Yeah, it could be. So you know what? I am going to say that for this number 3, it's a stupid question. To not make myself look very bad. Now 90 is A plus, however I should have gotten 100 given that I'm tutoring this. But given the technicalities between number 3, I won't really worry myself too much about it. So let's get going, guys. That's it for today's lesson. Embarrassingly, I got one incorrect. But you know what? Next time, there's always a chance to do better. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it very much.